At the time when we started developing our systems, we were looking for a company that could supply medicines data broken down to the right level of granularity we needed for our systems. And when we looked around on the market, FDB seemed to be the only people really that supplied that data. And I think actually to this day they still are really, you know. And yeah, we liked the way the company worked, and their data was exactly how we broken down in exactly the way that we needed it. And it was updated on a regular basis, once a month, and it was consistent, so it ticked all the boxes what we needed. The option that we would have had if we didn't find a drug supplier would be to maintain our own drug file for our systems, and that would have required us hiring a full-time pharmacist dedicated to that job. So the first one is the cost saving, which is massive to the trust of using drug data over actually employing staff to do that job. The data is broken down and structured in a very comprehensive way, which enables us to implement it into our systems into a way that is beneficial for use. And the fact that it is updated regularly makes it really useful for us as well. We receive monthly updates from FDB, and that work is done by a clinical team, so we don't have to worry about that. We know that data is, you know, at the standard that we need. The two main systems where we've implemented Multilex are our electronic formulary application called Inform, and our electronic discharge system, which we call WebRx. Users really like the standard format and the consistency of the data that's displayed in our application. And the fact that they know where to look for it, so they can look, you know, in the same place for the side effects data or the interactions data for each drug. And in the WebRx discharge application, the benefits have been massive in terms of how we can display the FDB data and using that to aid clinical decision support within the application. When a prescriber selects a drug, they also need to select the formulation. So rather than showing 10 different formulations, we only show the limited number of formulations that we stock on our formulary as well. And then Multilex has a very neat way of linking formulation to route, so that if a prescriber prescribes tablets as a formulation, then we can restrict the route to only display oral and not intravenous. So these sound like simple things, but they add up to be massively beneficial in terms of, you know, streamlining the way that we prescribe. That downstream makes the job for the pharmacists verifying the prescription much easier as well. First Data Bank's implementation was very comprehensive and very useful for us. The data is quite, you know, there's a lot of data and the data structures are quite complicated, but we were, to start with, given a lot of documentation that was really useful, like an implementation manuals. We have an account manager who came to see us regularly when we were developing our applications to provide us the assistance that we needed to make sure that we implemented everything in the most effective way. We also have a technical review conducted by our account manager to basically ensure that we were displaying the data in a correct format and that we were using the data as effectively as we could. The customer support desk are really on the ball in terms of responding to our queries about anything relating to the data. They're never late in delivering their monthly data file uploads, and I think what's really good about FDB as an organisation is that they're very good at keeping one step ahead of developments that are going on. Also, we have, up and coming next year, our trust-wide electronic prescribing implementation of a third-party supplier's system, and that system also uses First Data Bank's Multilex product, which is brilliant for us because it means from a transition point of view, prescribers are already familiar with Multilex data because they've seen it already in our formulary product, they've used it in discharge prescribing. So that's going to make the transition over to using electronic prescribing very useful. It's already helped us because we've tested a load of our formulary data into this trust-wide electronic prescribing system, and that has basically we've managed to do a 90% load, which makes our job much easier and time saving for us. First Data Bank are the only suppliers of medicine data broken down in a way that is used, can be successfully implemented into a prescribing system. They have really good customer support, and I would definitely use them again.